Okay, what I will do in this session is introduce what we are trying to do in ISC as part of this project, IOSMCN. What is the motivation, and briefly introduce the project. What is our architecture, where we are at this juncture, and who are our partners, how we are planning to move ahead in terms of governance. That's what I would be covering. I think today morning you had heard how private 5G has immense potential, though it looks like now that 5G is completely deployed in India, though the users are not as many as 4G. 5G looks a bit late to start, but you just heard from Dr. James how it is expected to stay for another couple of decades. The primary reason being the full potential of the technology is not yet utilized at all as of now in the deployments. We are still in EMBB and still in macro networks. Private 5G is getting deployed in some of the advanced countries like Japan, US, Germany, etc. Very interesting use cases, but still, for the kind of potential that it has, where we are, it is as of now in very nascent stage, I would say. So TSDSI has worked with many of the players in India in telecom and came up with a white paper about, I think, 3 years back. And this proposal, the root of it was embedded in that. It's available on the TSDSI website for anybody who's interested to see. The whole mission and vision is to democratize Indian telecom industry with open source. So, which means we need to come up with a solution and make it available for Indian ecosystem to be able to innovate a lot faster and deploy and utilize 5G as a technology. This is, as of now, funded by Ministry of IT and Electronics, though we expect it to expand beyond that. Already we see beginnings of it. This has started earlier this year. And then the idea is we bring academia, and we also bring a lot of industry, and we also formed a core team across 3 strategic partners. The strategic partners are from ISC, IIT Delhi, and CDAC Trivandrum. This is a consortium as of now, and there is work happening towards this mission. So the idea is when we, any new entrant to enter telecom was kind of impossible some years back, let us say 5-6 years back. Open RAN kind of changed the scenario to a decent extent, where a lot of players have started coming in across the globe into the industry, who could get in, either do one or some parts of the whole RAN. Otherwise, the RAN, which forms almost like 70% or more of the deployment cost as well as revenue, which depending on wherever you see yourself on, it was all just held by a few handful of global players. Whereas now, a lot of players are coming in. And given that this is also a capex intensive market, it would take a decade for it to break that barriers completely. I can see within a few years, we are already there to some extent. The next step, which can revolutionize the whole thing, is to be able to give 5G, at least the base stack and solution, decently ruggedized as an open source. So this was conceptualized based on that philosophy, this whole project. It can help in multiple ways, also in terms of any academia research for 6G or 5G advanced, or any specific use cases by many players in Indian industry to be able to innovate in a very localized use cases as well. Without a fundamental stack or a 5G, otherwise they will have to invest, crores and crores of rupees just to develop the basic solution of 5G. The idea is once we have something like this in place, that entry barrier can be taken away. What would be the value proposition? I'm giving this for our first kind of year. This is not like a very long term stuff. So, what we figured as part of our study is any open source that is available today, there are a few of them globally available. None of them give a complete end to end solution. So the idea is we prepare something which is a complete tested end-to-end solution. And also none of them are kind of decently tested. So we will try to get RAN, core, SMO, RIC, and IMS as a complete solution. And then any of the Indian ecosystem startups can leverage this open source. They can develop customized innovation on this. So we found different sources that are available have quite a few basics as well missing. I'm not even talking like release 16, 17, 18. I'm talking even 15 and some of the 16 3GPP release features itself. So right now we are focusing to get these two done and also do basic stability traffic model testing, because that is another thing which we found missing in most of these open sources available. Which this is where the complex piece. Typically in a 5G, based on my almost 3 decades of experience in this wireless space, I can say we tend to overlook this part. Developing something at a POC level is one big step, but it is still like 10% of the whole fun in the game. When we really develop a proper engineering system, even within the labs, is the next big thing. The final thing, which is like 60-70%, is ruggedizing and optimizing it in field. So we will go through these steps. Right now, obviously, the focus is in the first two. The idea is next year we will get into some pilots. So we are looking at more automated test coverage. We have already started on this journey and making the continuous integration process more robust than the available open sources so that we increase the test coverage. The idea is when you open up eventually, the overall strength of this solution is about how much we can test as we develop more features. We are also looking at a lot of Indian radio vendors integration, because the existing open sources, they have not integrated everything. So far, only VVDN has been integrated. So we have also done Lekha. We are about to start on Tejas. And long term, as I said, different applications are as relevant to the Indian market. So the solution, I think most of you who are aware of basic 5G solution stack can relate to this. We are looking at, as part of this program, both the RAN as a unified version and as well as distributed version. As of now, the RU is left as third party. At some point, we will also try to get the unified version on a complete solution. like RU plus G node P. And then we are looking at kind of two tracks where the unified version as a monolithic RAN will interact with core SMO and IMS. Distributed RAN is more of Open RAN compliant. So we will get to have a complete F1, E1, E2 interfaces and the RIC implemented as part of this. So that's the whole idea. We have two types of tracks as a solution. One for those who would like to go for unified and one who would like to go for distributed. In terms of our license strategy, any of whatever we would like to develop on our own, we are planning to go with Apache V2. This makes it simpler for anybody who uses them compared to other licenses like GPL, which kind of mandates anybody who uses to be able to deliver it back in terms of the code. Apache V2 gives the most flexibility. And then we also did a lot of base code comparisons for different solution components. And where possible, we are trying to stick to Apache V2 because anything we inherit from any existing open source and develop further, we have to inherit their license terms as well. Though whatever components we develop over and above will stay with Apache V2. So we will have, once we establish, we are planning a first release end of this month. We will have the release level license files and everything. And once we have a proper solution end to end, and we open up, any contributors will have to sign up with different contributor licenses. This whole model is nothing unique with iOS MCN. For those of you who are exposed to open source in general, this is kind of a common practice across the globe, including Linux Foundation. So in terms of our GitHub structure, we had planned it like anybody who can pick and choose, who want to pick and choose can do that, or who want to pick the full solution can do that. So the idea is we will have each of these components as separate GitHub organizations and repositories. And then all the images put together, we will do a complete end-to-end solution test. And when we deliver them as a combinatorial also. So depending on the users who may want to pick some or all, right? That flexibility will be there. And there will also be in terms of release, it can be at individual component level or an overall at iOS MCN solution level. Okay. As we are about probably 6 months into the whole program, we have looked at the governance structure to start with. We had looked at the GitHub structure and the workflow processes, which can sustain long term. So the study has been done with respect to how Linux Foundation operates and how different other open sources operate. And then the whole governance structure is planned accordingly. We had studied with our some of the partners, some of market requirements from Indian market specifically for private 5G, and then looked at the relevant technical requirements from 3GPP. And also we studied and compared different open sources available across the globe for all these components. And we have finalized for RAN, core, and SMO, and already implementing the first solution. IMS, we are expecting to close by September. So we will try to get Vivo and are going after that. Um, so we have integrated, as I said, VVDN, Leica, 7.2 front hall for 2 cross 2. Um, and then we both RAN and core, and we are kind of integrating these with SMO for management plane. So we have achieved decent throughputs both on RAN and core. DPDK was brought in for core. And then for lab conditions, at least we got decent throughputs. Now we are looking at expanding in terms of the capacity and stability. So we got 24 hours stable, sometimes 48 hours, up to 4 commercial UE. We have now established a complete simulation environment to be able to scale this for 1632 users, mobiles testing, um, and also for future to increase the number of RUs. We have both the RU simulator and in the process of getting a UE simulator. So we will have test beds already right now. Functional test beds with commercial UEs are there. We will be expanding it to more simulation based test beds as well to be able to do different traffic mix. One of the key thing in the industry for all the telecom infra R&D units, right, for Nokia's, Ericsson's, Samsung's, etc. The key is to be able to do this kind of test, which mimics the field the maximum. So next steps wise, we are preparing, as I said, the first internal release by end of this month. And then we are preparing for a demo and launch at IMC in October. So as I said, we are covering all the basic features needed for 5G at this juncture. We expect that to be robust very soon. And then we started focusing on capacity, stability, and performance, these aspects beyond the functional. And we just started evaluating RIG framework. We plan to bring in very soon. And once we have these, we are also already working on a couple of pilot deployments early next year. So that way we can ruggedize this further, the whole solution. And as a step beyond that, naturally, we would like to expand the ecosystem of user community. As of now, this is more of an internal strategic partners, some of the development partners from industry, because the solution is kind of getting ready. Support for development of any use cases for Indian market or expanding this to release 16, 17, any research areas. In fact, we are also discussing with the Art Park team how this can be made available. And some of the DOT 100 5G labs can also use it once we release this. And in the long term, right now, it is all based on Intel platforms. We are interested to expand this to other hardware platforms based on the demand and need. So broadly, I would say this is the path we would like to pursue in this project. So just to give a snapshot, in just a few months, we started off at just the top tier, beginning of the year. And then we had expanded to various development partners already who are classified as platinum, gold, and silver. So the ones on the platinum, Simnovus, who develop a lot of test tools, RU, UE simulators, etc. And we have Tejas Networks, who will be bringing in their RU and would be working with us. We are in the fag end of signing off the MOU. Almost done with everything else, just for signatures. CDOT again. So the CDOT is actually planning a innovation lab for 5G, 6G, and the idea is we will collaborate with them to be able to have this solution taken there. For anybody from the startups can either use it as a black box or use it as a white box once the source code is available. Airtel, who has vouched support in terms of helping ruggedizing this once we have a solution ready from our lab. They can give the specifications or test in their labs and help to make this more ready. There are multiple partners who also, Lekha, Neeral, Rebecca, different members are trying to give different type of contributions. And CIT, Tumcourse, you can see a mix of industry and like some academia, CIT as well as MSRIT. So different industry partners are kind of interested in different value add props that we have at this juncture. So as I said, we are organized exactly like Linux Foundation, how they operate. We have a governing board, operating committee, technical oversight committee, project management committee, and the whole work is organized as sub-projects, and which get tracked in our weekly meetings of PMC and kind of bi-weekly for technical topics for in TOC. And there is an operating committee to take some operational decisions and final directional decisions by governing board. So this is the way we are structured, and either the partners that I talked in different categories in the previous slide, they kind of have representatives or people, engineers working in different sub-projects, or their CXOs part of these committees. So I think anybody at this juncture, if they're interested, they can always reach out to us. So the value proposition obviously will be the visibility and recognition, so credibility, as well as to be able to steer this whole direction in the way they see how they can benefit out of it as they join in early. So that way we can get into more of influencers. It's kind of expanding already quite fast. We are discussing with at least 3-4 more startups who are interested in different verticals of what private 5G that they want to capture. And some of them may have only one component. They want to use the other components from iOS MCN and go and bid. As I said, the uses that they are seeing benefits, each one has their own. Some of them have test tools and they want to improve their test tools and use iOS MCN, as we build a more and more ruggedized platform. This is what I had. So I can take questions.